As the days passed in the gilded cage of the royal palace, my unease and longing for my old life in Nelson's Hood grew stronger. The intricacies of court life, the endless formalities, and the constant scrutiny of nobles and advisors left me feeling suffocated. I yearned for the simplicity of my stepfather's blacksmith shop and the laughter of my friends in the village. One evening, as I sat in my lavish sitting room, staring at the elaborate gown I was expected to wear at the upcoming royal banquet, I felt a surge of determination. I could no longer bear the weight of this deception, and I longed to return to my true home. I knew that escaping from the palace would not be easy. The guards were vigilant, and the palace was a maze of corridors and chambers. But I also knew that I couldn't remain a princess any longer, living a lie that grew more unbearable with each passing day. I turned to the few palace staff members I'd come to trust during my time in the palace. Marjorie, the kind-hearted chambermaid, and Samuel, the elderly gardener, had both shown me genuine kindness. They had recognized the struggle behind the facade and offered me their support. One evening, I discreetly summoned Marjorie and Samuel to my sitting room. I spoke to them in hushed tones, revealing my true identity and my desire to escape the palace. At first, they were shocked, but as I explained the reasons behind my decision, their expressions turned sympathetic. Marjorie, with her nimble fingers and knowledge of the palace layout, devised a plan. She had overheard the guards discussing their shift changes, and she believed there was a brief window of opportunity during the late hours when the palace was relatively unguarded. Samuel, with his knowledge of the palace gardens, knew of a hidden passage that led to the outer walls. It was a passage used by servants in times of need, and it had remained a well-kept secret. We set our escape for the darkest part of the night, when the moon hung low in the sky. Marjorie managed to acquire a set of clothing that would allow me to blend in with the palace staff. The gown and cloak were plain, a stark contrast to the extravagant attire I had worn as Princess Amelia. The night of the escape arrived, and my heart pounded with anticipation and fear. As the palace slept, I made my way to the designated meeting point, a dimly lit corridor near the servants' quarters. Marjorie and Samuel were there, their faces marked by a mix of determination and worry. With Marjorie's guidance, we slipped through the palace's labyrinthine passages, avoiding the guards' watchful eyes. The hidden passage that Samuel had described led us to the palace gardens, where the scent of blooming flowers filled the air. Our escape was not without challenges. We encountered locked gates and hidden obstacles, but Marjorie's resourcefulness and Samuel's knowledge of the gardens proved invaluable. With each step, I could feel the weight of my false identity lifting, replaced by a growing sense of freedom and authenticity. Finally, we reached the outer walls of the palace. The moonlight illuminated a small opening, concealed by ivy and vines. With Samuel's help, I climbed through, leaving the palace behind me. As I stood on the other side, I took a deep breath, savouring the cool night air and the feeling of liberation. My escape from the palace was only the beginning of a new chapter in my life. I knew that there would be challenges and uncertainties ahead, but I also knew that I could no longer live a lie. I was determined to return to Nelson's Hood, to my family and friends, and to the simple, genuine life I had once known. As I disappeared into the darkness, leaving the palace and its bewildering daily matters behind, I felt a profound sense of relief and hope for the adventures that awaited me on the path back to my true self.